Hi YouTube, I'm Rosie Lady. You probably remember me from my last video or any of my burlesque videos. And today I decided, last time I talked about Star Wars, got kind of geeky. I usually am pretty geeky, if you know me. But I thought today I'd talk about my burlesque related crafts. They aren't really the best burlesque items that you'll ever see. There's some really amazing talented crafters and performers out there that make much better stuff than I do, but I just wanted to show my stuff off because that's what this is for, isn't it? Why does anybody make these videos? So, one of the first things that I ever made was actually this little guy. He, poor thing, he's lost his beak and one of his wings. I've had him for so long. But it's just a hair clip. And he started off as one of those craft birds that you could buy. You can actually curl the ends of feathers with like a knife or the dull edge of the scissors, and then you glitter glue it up, or just glue it up to. But they usually stick without the glue or stay this curl look. Backed it with some more feathers and some longer feathers, and just kind of go crazy. The more feathers, the better. You never put too much. That's a common phrase. It's never enough. Is it too much? It's never too much. So yeah, that's one of the crafts that I've made. It's one of the first ones. Started with a red and black theme, as you'll notice. One of my early things was this hat. A friend had actually given me just this little craft hat and some flowers, and I put it together actually with some different layers of beaded trim, the front and the back. Put some more feathers and a broken necklace, rhinestone necklace, glued it on the front. So it's pretty wild, but you've got some fringe on the front, so you got some movement. You got fringe on the back, and yeah, once you pin it in place, it's quite a chapeau, little fascinator there, as we call it in the biz. Next, we just did a really crazy show called Yo Grabba Grabba that was all kids themed shows like from our youth, the 80s, 90s, and I decided to do 80s action. The kind of shows that I watched as a kid. Yeah, I watched the occasional My Little Pony and Care Bears. But my absolute favorite shows were things like Thundercats, She-Ra and He-Man, Power and Grayskull, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all the ones that had the cool toys. I mean, My Little Ponies are cool, but they're all the same thing. And, oh my god, you got so many different toys with those shows. So I decided, with no money, to put together my own Princess of Power sword. So here, it's actually a foam core, popsicle sticks, and hot glue, and some craft paint. There's actually, the most expensive thing is the silver. It's a sort of a aluminum finish silver spray paint that gets it as smooth as a surface as you can get for what it is. And I realized that the foam core is going to be pretty brittle, so I layered it with popsicle sticks that made it really sturdy, and then did these really crappy 3D details with hot glue. It's actually too bright for there you go. And everybody knew what it was. Another one I did was the Thundercat sword. It's again hot glue, popsicle sticks, craft painted Sharpie, and got the point across. So that's kind of stuff that I do. I'd much rather had more time and more money. That's my fault. I would have built it up. Actually, this would have been the base, built it up, and then probably cast it. Got a little bit of experience in casting and resin molding and painting, things like that. That's how you make props, and that's how you make durable props. You should. Don't make them like these unless you want people to look at them very, very quickly and then never see them again. Which kind of, what's the point of me making this video? I don't know. But anyway, then I have things like this. This will even fit on my head with my hair right now. There you go. She-Ra, the She-Ra wings for the headdress. That was a lot of fun. I should have painted it. I know, I should have painted it. But it was such a quick fix, and it was so much fun to just have that sort of I made this at home kind of feel to it. And don't always put that lack of effort into my items. This is one of my pasties. I usually use craft foam and back it with something like a layer of buckram or another layer of craft foam and E6000. Hand stitch, you can't see it here, but I hand stitch the seam to make it a bit of a rounded shape, but I have to have fairly large pasties. And actually that's something I'd like to talk about in this video. Maybe I'll do a more thorough tutorial for those who are interested, because I've been asked this a lot. I basically use pasties as a boob lift. Cover the entire back with tape. And I have large pasties, so this always works with them. Almost always. But I basically put tape all over the back. Actually place it, says that this is the boob, and you place it, stick it to the bottom of the boob first, or just underneath the nipple, and then in both hands pull up and place it a little bit higher than the actual nipple on the top, and you'd have to do some practice, because you don't want a fold. Sometimes there can be a fold in the skin if you pull it up too high or you force it too far. But actually, with strong enough tape and a large enough pasty, you can, without having to use makeup or hide anything or place the actual center unnaturally. You can still place the center over your nipple, but you use the pasty to hold everything up. And I've actually worn a few costumes without bras by using pasties underneath. I don't recommend it for everyday use. They will do a little bit of wear and tear on your actual breast. But for performances, for one-time cosplay, costuming, it really works. I think I'll probably do, if I get enough hits, enough comments, I might do a tutorial. I gotta figure out how to do that. So anyway, next I've got rhinestone shoes. Ooh, that's so bright you can't see it. These are hand-placed rhinestones. Most performers, it's kind of a rite of passage to rhinestone your own shoes. This is my first pair that I ever rhinestoned. I plan on rhinestoning a full pair. They look amazing when somebody does it. But I only had enough to do wingtips, so I basically took a cheap pair of shoes, well, semi-cheap, but from Goodwill that I knew were comfortable. I traced the shape with silver Sharpie, so if you can see it, when it loses a rhinestone, it's not as noticeable right away until you can put another rhinestone in its place. And I just really like to use blues rhinestones at the tip. It's just the tip, because that's where you kick things. Yeah. And back here you can see there hasn't been a single one lost. Use silver Sharpie to make the shape, and then one at a time in E6000 glue the rhinestones. And here on the back I haven't lost a single one, and they really catch. Oh, it's so gorgeous in stage light. They're really killing this camera. But and then my specialty, which I won't have enough time in this video to show you, is sew. I've sewn since I was 12. I went to my first convention when I was 11, and I've been sewing the year after ever since. Most of the stuff that I make is not professional whatsoever. I never call myself a professional costumer. I offer my services. I'm not good, but I'm fast because I procrastinate really well. So I end up having to be really fast. And one of the things that I can make is, it's not a corset. Corset is steel boned. I do not make those. I buy those. I do not feel comfortable enough making a full steel boned corset. I love steel boned corsets. They are a miracle. But I make this this waist cincher. Just a little piece that I made. Blue vinyl. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of looks Wonder Woman-esque. Got those little star flowers on it. And I made this for a 4th of July naval kind of themed number. And you just kind of make the shape. I've learned how to tailor waists really well over the years, having large bust and ass, and I've always tried to show off that although I don't have a small waist, I have a considerably smaller waist than the top and the bottom. So tailor things, even t-shirts, dresses. You really learn the basics of tailoring. You can make all the difference in the world, actually, for any shape. Smaller on top, bigger on the bottom. There's lots of different ways you can tailor. You can elevate shoulders. You can just learn basics about body shape, and it makes a huge difference in costuming and fashion in general. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I do. It's not spectacular. It's glittery, but it's not the best stuff out there. But I appreciate all the other performers and crafters out there that do this stuff. They're a huge inspiration to me, and I hope that I've inspired some of you out there to just have fun. Make whatever you want. Make a set of pasties. Get some gross rhinestones on eBay, or if it's just a craft project, get some from the local craft store. You can, I know what used to be trendy, but really putting rhinestones on anything is a lot of fun. And yeah, that's Rosie Lady Crafting.